into many different things, okay? So I'm going to say some of these things that you may not know, okay? And you should know this because these are the keys to wealth. You should know the difference between quality of income versus quantity of income, okay? You should know the difference between working for money and working for wealth. You should know the power of leveraging a system. It never gets tired. It never goes to sleep. You should understand that this industry is like an invisible franchise, and you can take two people and teach them to get two, and you've multiplied yourself 6 times. They go out and get one, you have 12, 24, 48. Before you know it, you have 500 people, 5,000 people across the country. And when 5,000 people across the country, right, are doing what you're doing, it's like having 5,000 different locations. What happens when it goes into another country? Does it cost you anything? No, it does not. Not a penny. It just put more money in your pocket. And any one of those people can pass you up in rank and in income. And that, my friends, is beautiful and it's fair, okay? It is very fair. And I love businesses that are fair, okay? If you're going to put your back into a company, then you should own it, right? This is why I never became an employee, okay? If you're an employee, be the best employee that you possibly can, okay? I'm not knocking that. But if your employment is not a direct reflection of your dream, then you probably shouldn't be there. Okay? If your income is not a reflection of your dream, then you probably should be there. You shouldn't be there. So if your lifestyle is not a reflection of the dream that you have in your heart and in your mind, then you probably should not be there. That means you have ambition and you have belief and you have courage. I call that the ABCs, right, of entrepreneurship. A for ambition, B for belief, C for courage. That means you have the spark of a business owner. It means you have the pull of the future on you that's calling you to do something more, have more, be more, okay? Pour into more people. If you have that, then my message is for you, okay? So you begin to learn these things in my business school. Now again, I don't lead with rah-rah. I don't lead with hype. I don't lead with manipulation. I told my team long ago, and I still tell them today, that is, we're not going to be the fastest ones to the highest ranks. That's what everybody loves, right? All the oohs and ahs because somebody can get there faster than you, right? Let me tell you something. That's not real. Growth like this is not real. This is emotionalism. This is hype. This is manipulation, and this drops. When financial education is the mentor, you hit rank, you keep rank, go to the next rank. Hit rank, keep rank, go to the next rank. That is a solid educational program. It's not built on a personality, it's built on financial education. So when the financial education becomes the mentor, guess what? They no longer need you, and you want that. And if you haven't figured that out as a leader yet, you need to, okay? You want the educational system, the financial education, and the duplicatable system. Viseo has the railroad tracks. You want to stick to that. Everything I teach is the higher education on top of that. So I want to make that very clear here. Okay, guys, I want you to listen to me now. For some of you that are in other organizations, I'm not just doing my own thing, okay, because that's not my intent here. We have the railroad tracks. We have a PowerPoint presentation that comes from Viseo, okay? Everyone sticks to that. But higher education is very important, okay? So let me drive my point home here. If you don't think higher education is important, why are you telling people to go read books? Self-development, read this book, read that book. Why? Because it's important to self-educate, not just so you be more confident. It's so you can communicate the industry and the brand and self-development, and you build the person and the person builds the business, okay? So this is where I would push back with some of these people because in the past, they would knock that I really, really gravitate to financial education. And it's always worked for me, by the way. I've never failed in this business because of that. So I'm on to something. I know that my team is raising the bar in this entire industry and will continue to because what we are doing is right and our retention is through the roof. Okay? Here's a bunny trail and a post note. For some of you leaders that are out there, you have to be sick of building the same team over and over and over again, right? They all come in through one door and then they go out through the back door, right? Come on. You guys know I'm talking the truth right now, okay? Sometimes you have to question and rethink the doctrine that you have learned so you can change it and make it better, okay? So this is where I'm critical about my own industry that I love, okay? But I've brought major correction to that so it doesn't happen on my team. But this is where I have trouble with the 98% that are out there that are not communicating the industry the way it deserves or the brand the way it deserves. And they make it sound like it's so easy to get in, right? Simple duplication, right? Don't get too complicated. Oh, this is not a complex business, right? Just get in, right? We're going to teach you. It's very, very simple. Just get on the railroad tracks, okay? And they enroll people, and sometimes they enroll the masses, but 90 days later, as soon as they figure it out that this is a skill set and a very professional business, and you need to learn that, they go out the back door. Why? Because their friends, their sponsors told them, this is really easy, don't worry about it, we're all going to be rich. Once they realize that this is a real business, and you got to show up for work, okay? You can't just have a whole bunch of products sitting in your garage telling everybody, oh, this doesn't work. If you're only open for business one day a week because you talk to one person and you haven't talked to anyone 6 other days, how does a business work out when you're open one day and closed 6 days? Okay, you got to run this thing like a real business, not like a hobby. So that language I have a problem with because they all come in thinking it's easy and they come in thinking it's like a hobby and you can just do, you can just kind of run it the way you want, makes a little extra money. People like that never work out. So I tell people right out of the gate, this is a very complex business. I'm going to teach you financial education. Why is that important? So listen up, you guys. I want you to understand this. This is a trade secret, and you should listen to what I'm about to say. After I take a drink. This is my V3, by the way. I doubled it. Okay, the reason why financial education is really important, and you would do yourself some good to learn it and to communicate it, but you got to teach it in a way to where it applies to network marketing. I've never seen anybody that has the ability to do that, but they can, and my team is learning it. But this is why it's important. When you look at the common characteristics of those that step into network marketing and build big businesses, they're committed, they have a strong work ethic. Many of them have a background, maybe they were in real estate or they're a real estate agent or they're business owners or they have a sphere of influence or they've been popular for some reason. They have influences of every kind, okay? When you're talking to a small business owner, he or she understands the language of business. If you can speak their language and they have a pain point, if they don't have a pain point, they're not coming in. But if they have a pain point, your language of business and your understanding is going to build a trust factor and an engagement in there, and they're going to understand that they're going to enroll with somebody who actually understands how business works. Okay? And so those people are always saying no to everybody else. Listen to me now. Those people are always saying no to the 98% that are going, try my product. Oh my God, it's a great product. Oh, my compensation plan. That doesn't work with small business owners. It doesn't work with people of influence that are big thinkers and understand the language of business. They're going to say no to you unless they have a really bad pain point. So when you speak that language, guess what? You're not sounding like everybody else, where the 98%, where all the sharks are swimming and the blood is in the water because it's fierce competition. Your language is piercing through all of that and going to a whole new blue ocean, so to speak, where you are able to get the people that have large networks. And I want you to remember something. Your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. I don't care what business you're in. Many of you have 3,000 friends on Facebook, 3,000 friends on Instagram. Your network is worth 6,000. If you have 5,000 and 25,000, you have 30,000. That your network is worth 30,000. Good 10% of those people hate what they do. You come to them with that language of business, and they have large spheres of influence, large networks. They are going to join you because they see that you understand what you're talking about. The problem with our industry is they're not educating the people in the way they should. So when they go to somebody like that, the person just goes, seriously? You're going to enroll me for $300 and I'm going to make $1 million? Get out of here, right? They're like, get out of here, freaking kid. You don't know what you're talking about, right? That's what they do. So financial education is really, really important. And so that's what I teach in my business school. And it's a wonderful door. Here's another thing. It's a wonderful door of entrance for the average person and especially the business owner in a field, right? In a climate, so to speak, in a climate where network marketing has a social fear and a social inacceptance, okay? Let's be honest, okay? The world has a social inacceptance for network marketing. Why? Because most people are financially illiterate. They are not financially literate, they are illiterate. They are business blind and they are business deaf. They don't know the difference between a good business model and a bad business model. 85% of the population work for somebody else. They don't know big business principles. They don't know the power of a system. If they knew the power of a system, they wouldn't make themselves a system, right? Because when you're an employee, you don't have a system. You're not leveraging a system. You are the system. You are your boss's system, okay? And if you knew the difference and you knew that you were being taxed very highly because you collect a W-2 and not a business owner, you're giving away half your money. That's called very poor quality of income. What you want is passive and you want to leverage a system, right? And so most people don't know that. And it's always, and you guys will understand what I'm talking about here, it's always, I'm going to tell you a trade secret right after this. It's always those that are the most broke, that need it the most, that always say no. Which is why they're broke. They don't understand business principles. But you take this language that you've learned in Overcome Nation to people that do, and they say yes, and you're collecting networks. What we do here in Overcome Nation is we collect networks. And you got to get the people from the first network to stay long enough so you can stack the next network. And then the next network. You're stacking networks until you have a very broad network around the world. This is where you see people make $100,000 a month, $1 million a year, $1 million a month, okay? Very important. But if you have low retention, that doesn't happen. If you came in just because of the product, it does not happen, okay? So you need to make sure you pay attention to all the things. Some of you need to watch this video like 5 or 6 times until you really understand it. This is some of the richest content you'll ever hear of anybody talking about this wonderful industry, you guys. This is the greatest method of wealth creation on the planet, okay? You could change your life dramatically, okay? But with that being said, here's my trade secret, okay? I'm happy that the world thinks that network marketing industry is a pyramid. I'm happy that there's a social fear about it. I'm happy that there's a social inacceptance for it. Because I experienced what it was to be in the real estate boom and in 1998, and I was buying properties and real estate when everybody said it was a bad idea. They were all blind. And I had a mentor that taught me to see through the language of financial education. Entrepreneurs operate in a world that nobody else sees, okay? In the land of the blind, the guy with one eye is king. Remember that, because all you have to do is see a little bit. So what happened was, as we got further into that real estate boom around 2007, 2008, 2009, right? Everybody agreed that real estate was it was the shit, if I could just say it that way, okay? Everyone agreed that it was the place to be, and what happened is, I got pushed right out of the market. You go and you make an offer on a property for $250. By the end of the week, it was selling for $330, $340, and it was clearly not worth it until that thing imploded. Here's why I love there is a social inacceptance for this industry, is that I can teach my team the language of business, and they can go to where there is no competition because nobody can talk like them. And they can get the networker, they can get the person that has a large network, the business owner, and a sphere of influence, and they can bring them into their business where nobody else can get them. And I can basically pick the ones that I want to work with. You can, because of that language, you can pick the ones that you want to work with. Can you imagine if everybody agreed that everybody knew that network marketing was the greatest method of wealth creation on the planet? Could you imagine that? You think you have competition now with people trying to steal your people? Right? In a world where most people think, what's wrong with that guy? Why can't he get a real job? And they don't even know he owns like half the real estate in the whole city, and he doesn't even look like he has a job, and he's always traveling the world, or she's always traveling the world. This is the best kept secret in the world. I'm telling you this right now through the language of business. So I don't tell myself, oh my gosh, what's wrong with these people? How come they don't say yes? I am happy about it. because I get to go and pick the ones that I want to work with that will come in and bring their large network and their influence and their dedication and their work ethic, and we can combine networks around the world and build six-figure earner after six-figure earner, and then a year from now they go to seven-figure earner, and then they produce six-figure earners that produce seven-figure earners, and you grow exponentially. Okay? I want you to understand leverage. 5,000 people work an hour a day in your business. You're logging 5,000 hours a day. You've heard this many, many times before. I almost don't even like to say what I'm about to say because people say it so much, but it's good for this point. They say, and this is true, you would rather have 1% of 100 person's efforts than 100% of your own. If you're an employee, then you're operating on 100% of your own. You're working for money. You're not working for wealth. Okay, if you're a small business owner, if you want to find out whether you own your business or it owns you, leave for a month. Okay, and if you can do that, then try 6 months. You're going to find out very quickly that your business clearly owns you. You don't have a system. You are the system. You go on vacation. System goes with you. You don't get paid. Right? Physicians, attorneys, landscapers, restaurant owners, franchise owners, right? People that have franchises do the same thing. You can step into this business for $1,500 and start making $5,000 a month to $500 a month, and then it goes a little further. Maybe it's $1,000 a month, and then it's $500 a week, and then it's $1,000 a week, and then it's $5,000 a week, and then it's $5,000 a day on a $1,500 startup and a skill set, and letting action be your coach, getting financially educated and getting out there and learning the rigors of business. Nothing fails like success, so you want to fail as fast as you can, because the more you're working, the more these obstacles present themselves. And as you learn to deal with those obstacles, you become mentally strong, emotionally strong, spiritually strong, even physically strong, taking care of your physical man because of the products. And guess what? Then you become financially strong. Your bank account begins to fill up because you have more. You have more value to the marketplace, and your earning power goes higher and higher and higher. Right? Financial education. I love financial education as a doorway because there's an immediate respect. Instead of, well, try my product, oh my gosh, you want to. That's why they think you're peddling product, you guys. That's why people don't want to do it, because they think that they have to be like you, right? That's why they're saying no, because they think you have to go door to door and go hand deliver products all over town, and they're like, what? So let me just tell you something and clear the air right now. If I thought for a second it was like that, I would have never been involved in this industry. And even now, I would hate that. I don't build like that. I don't teach my people to build like that. I don't teach my people to use hype or emotionalism or manipulation. We build on solid rock financial education and the real rigors of business, learning a skill so you can become wealthy for the rest of your life because of that philosophy. The philosophy